Welcome back to another episode of The Family Album. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Last week you heard a review of Demon Days by Gorillaz and The Grand Illusion by Styx. Sorry, now I'm so forgettable. I forgot what it was called.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. I'd say both the albums are definitely neck and neck as two of the best albums that would ever grace this land.
For their respective genres, definitely.
For sure. I mean, I would say that the art pop influence of Gorillaz was taken from Styx.
Yeah, 100%. See, you can really hear Come Sail Away's influence on tracks like All Alone and November Has Come. Dare I say fire coming out of the monkey's head.
AJ, I feel another presence in the room.
I do too, and it might just be because of the sounds of the rain.
Yeah, it's true. We are in the middle of a deluge.
But I think there is a third mutant with us in the studio. As you guys know, it's an off week, so we bring in a guest who gives us a theme for this week's album. So please welcome returning guest, Andrew Marshall.
I'm back!
Woo!
Yes, the one who brought us Alex G and
the
car
iconic
seat
Family
headrest.
Guy bit.
Oh my god, the Family. Oh my god, I
One of our
wasn't gonna.
defining moments.
I wasn't gonna say
a lot of, Family Guy funny moments recently.
Oh, and Andrew, no, you got the brain rot going.
Yeah, so hopefully we can maybe include some kind of new Family Guy bit.
Capture that lightning in a bottle again.
Catch the lightning in a bottle again.
This is gonna be the running bit every single time you're on the podcast. Just
I don't believe in good sequels, but
But it's a sequel nonetheless.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, we already kind of got your background on the first episode that you were here. So I guess let's cut to the chase. What is your theme for this week's albums, and what albums did you bring?
So I picked black and white album covers because I kind of struggled to come up with a good theme, but I wanted to definitely showcase like my love for another genre because I felt like we kind of talked about like indie rock, indie folk last time, and I'm also a big fan of hip hop, so I wanted to pick kind of like two different styles of it, as we definitely have.
Totally.
You know, I was like, let's talk about one of the greatest hip hop albums of the 2010s and Piñata.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, it's right there in the titles, Family Heads. We are talking about the critically acclaimed and beloved Die-Lit by Playboi Carti and the so-so Freddie Gibbs Madlib collab Piñata.
Kind of mid, you know.
Well, just a
More
little
like
bit.
mid-yada, you know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
But Andrew, what album would you like to start with this week?
We could let's start
Just
with,
get it out
let's
of the
start
way?
with- no, let's actually let's get it out of the way. Just so Matt doesn't need to suffer anymore. No, thank you guys for having me.
No, I'm
serious,
always,
dude.
I'm always
Always a pleasure.
suffering.
Good to be back.
No, Andrew. I'm always suffering.
That's
but
true.
anyway,
I'm sorry to hear that. What's a deluge, by the way?
a deluge is like a great flood. It's something that
Okay.
I
Yeah.
believe in different religions was prophesized as like a great flood that reset everything.
That's definitely what I
shit.
would describe as what's going on outside right
Yeah,
now.
the water is like up to the windows. It's pretty bad.
We might have to get like a ship full of like flamingos and like
Two of every animal.
cows.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the fucking animal's Christmas, dude.
Oh my god.
Art Garfunkel strikes again.
I didn't think I'd find an album that was better than Die Lit by Playboi Carti. No, I'm kidding.
Can't
Anyway.
even joke about it being good.
I can't. So Die Lit by Playboi Carti was released on May 11th, 2018, and it is Playboi Carti's debut studio album. It was released through Interscope and AGWE and produced by Art Dealer, Don Cannon, Indigo Child Rick, Molly Raw,
Molly Raw, yeah.
Molly Raw, okay. Pierre Bourne, and Mr. Cardi Barty himself. I think that's...
As he's colloquially known.
Is that Cardi B or is that another... I don't know, because one of them has that as a nickname.
No, it's not Playboi Carti.
Okay.
That's all I know.
I'm getting it mixed up.
Yeah, Pierre Bourne's kind of like the main producer and like kind of like the main person who created this beat style, if you will, on this album. But yeah, all those guys are definitely included on Die Lit, you know.
You can't deny
you
their
just
presence.
can't deny their presence on the, especially Art Dealer, who I don't even know if he actually did produce anything on this album, but
But he sure was there.
yeah, was probably there.
The just to kind of cap it all off, a couple things I'll say. The album, upon release, received some pretty like generally high reviews.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone from Pitchfork by the name of Evan Ridalewski said that it is an album that works almost completely from its own lunatic script. It is a perversely infectious sugar high rap that fundamentally recalibrates the brain's reward centers. Now,
Bold.
Dude, Pitchfork is so crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I completely agree with that.
That really resonated
They're
with me,
absurd.
dude. They really are.
Another person, I don't remember where it was. I think it was, I don't know. It was another music critic site. They said that the album lacked variety, which I don't know what they're talking about.
There's so much to dissect here.
Distinct
There was so
different
many-
of every song.
Literally.
There were so many ways that he said that she was going to suck his dick, and great,
And that was so artful, and I really resonated with that.
till the morning, till the, like, you know, it was
Literally.
Yeah.
great. But yeah.
I don't know how familiar you guys are with like the SoundCloud like rap era.
I mean,
Not really.
For growing up, like around the time it got popular, I only know like I kind of like the memes and the bits of it, and a little
Same.
bit of the culture, but not like the music itself.
There was a guy in my high school who was convinced that he was going to get picked up like on
Of
SoundCloud.
course, yeah.
We all had
There's
one of them.
always
We all had
one.
one of them.
Yeah.
There's one at the anonymous college that I go to, actually, that I'm thinking of right now.
Pentatonics University.
Pentatonics University, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. But yeah, no, I remember just being like, "Oh, good for you, man." But
Yeah.
and he grew up to be Playboi. No, I'm kidding.
But just around like 2018 and the couple years that like came before it, like there was just 700 of Playboi Cartis, just
Yes.
like for whatever reason, just dominating the music industry. And
Yeah.
I've been fascinated with this album because like there's probably like a good like 10 or like 8 SoundCloud rappers like from that era that are
Yeah.
like still kind of relevant in mainstream like hip hop, and Playboi Carti's like by far like number one
Definitely.
right now. Like he's still just so relevant. He's like teasing a new album and it's like very just like hyped. So I don't know. I think it'd be interesting for us to discuss, which
Exactly. Especially compared to this other album that we have, comparing the different styles of hip hop.
hip hop's a very, very broad
Yeah, umbrella
spectrum.
term. Yeah.
Very fluid genre,
Definitely.
and this shows it between the two albums without a doubt.
Yeah.
We have a lot of tracks to kind of go through.
Yes,
so
we do.
I think we could probably get through them pretty quickly.
That's also true. I don't have a lot of thoughts on the individual tracks
Lyrical
themselves.
analysis.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I can say about this record actually is reflected in the intro, and it's a long time. This album took a very long time. Nah, I mean, it's a decent opener for what it is, I think. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It
Fair
lets
enough.
you know what you're gonna get into.
Yeah.
which
Exactly.
I get. You can say that about a lot of album openers, but this, like, really, like, by your third minute of long time,
Yeah.
like, I loved just picturing both of you who are like good musicians and like analyze albums all the time, just being like, okay, this is
So this is it.
this is it. This is what these 19 songs
all right.
are gonna be.
Dude, 19 is kind of crazy.
No, it
for
is.
a debut. And
Not-
the songs are short, but it still doesn't feel short.
There's one
19?
after this, Whole Lot of Red. Sorry, Matt, to cut you off. But
No,
the
it's okay.
the songs are longer, and it's like 24 songs long.
Jesus, man.
Absolutely not.
I heard very mixed things about that album, so
Yeah, that's another polarizing one.
I was gonna say, what is it, like 19 and 40-ish minutes, or is it 50 minutes?
it's like 50. It's
Yeah,
almost
like
an hour.
It's
yeah,
almost an
it's
hour.
almost an hour. The other one is an hour, and
Yeah.
the pacing is at least a bit better than
Yes,
that.
I would say so.
Not to spoil my
But let's
ending.
stop comparing
Yeah.
to the other
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
We got to focus on
it's
the boy,
very-
your boy
You're right,
Carti.
you're right.
Yes, we do. It's very hard to not, but yes, we do.
I understand.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty decent opener in terms of like a tone setter.
Definitely. You get a sense for his style, like right off the bat, just very like simplistic, hooky, like lyrical flows that kind of like stick with you and are easy to kind of, I guess, rap along with.
This one's like people love like slowing and like reverbing this song. It's just like
Vaporwave.
I'm telling you, it's a big thing. This one was a big slowed and reverb song back in the day. And I love it because there's just this really popular meme of this guy like just like passed out drunk at like a party like on a couch, and his friend like puts this on the speaker, and he just like he gets up like out of just like a drunken
ascends.
slumber. Yeah, It's
Out of a
so funny.
slumber.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's it's kind of iconic. It's just like stupid.
Yeah,
I'm a little. I haven't felt like this in a long time.
It's charmingly stupid, I think, is like kind of the perfect encapsulation of this album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of charm to it, but it's very simple.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. Because I definitely see the appeal of this album to certain crowds, but I'm just not a part of it.
No,
Yeah.
neither
Yeah.
am I, unfortunately.
But
Listen, all I'm gonna say is Shotty gonna suck this dick to the morning. So that's pretty cool.
I couldn't have
Yeah.
said it better myself, Matt.
All black jean jacket got Vlone on it.
Amen, brother.
Amen. If I do say so myself.
Well, shall we just keep on going with this next track?
Yeah.
All right, next up we have R.I.P., which is something I want to do after listening to this album. So, Matt, you kind of teased the lyrics through and through this episode so far. So why don't you go off on your opinions on this track?
On this track, so I don't want to like production wise. I can't really say a lot about like individual tracks because it's pretty much the same setup every single time. But one thing, upon like the first listen, the bass was like so present in the very beginning, it like split my brain in half in the like at first. But I don't know, it was interesting. This track is just like, so the beat was really interesting because it sounded like a lot of it was made on like a Casio keyboard from like the 1960s.
Nice. Actually, yeah, I can kind of see that.
And like it plays with the channels a lot, but like it has a group of people hyping him up, but it's like slightly off beat. So I'm just like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, wow, okay.
There's a lot of like stimulating elements on this album where just like shit just like pops up in each channel, which is really funny.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. Just like all like the little automatopoeias and stuff. There's always something to catch and just be like, why?
Yeah, and the best part about it is that's literally just like Carti like through like another like voice track, just like doing that, just being like, what? Beat. Yeah, just making sound effects. I love like the 808s on this track, definitely. Like the kick pattern's really cool. But a little known fact about Playboi Carti, he has like pretty like serious like abuse allegations against him. So the lyrics on this track have not aged well at all. Like it's
great.
Not that they ever probably were like
he's not like living like the feminist.
What a stand-up guy. Yeah.
I'm gonna thrash that, you know, that girl, that woman.
Ay, caramba. I'm not huge on this track. I feel like the beat's just like really sour, and I just don't really fuck with it as much. I feel like the beats are at its strongest when it kind of leans into the more cloud rap elements, when it's a lot more mellow, because I feel like that fits his flow style a lot better.
I could see that.
And just kind of like the vibe of the album more. So when it kind of goes to like this more aggressive, like, I almost want to say like sharp kind of beat, I just don't really fuck with it as much.
Yeah, it doesn't fit with his like vocal tone he picked for this album like that well.
Yeah.
He has a very specific delivery, especially with like a few words that he says like over and over and over again.
Definitely. There's a lot of repetition on this album.
I could definitely see like the sort of sour sort of feel to this from what you're saying.
Well, thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Thank you for empathizing.
In Playboi Carti, we trust.
Exactly.
You know?
Amen.
But yeah, I really don't have a lot to say about this one.
Making $1 million for his mother off of that mumbling shit.
Got him for him. That I salute him. But for the allegations, I take it back.
Happy Women's Month.
Salute.
All right, next up, we actually have a favorite of mine from the album. Actually, this one really grew on me. We got Lean for Real.
Yeah.
Actually,
he was on that Lean for Real.
He really was, I found out, which is kind of sad.
I kind of wish that he had this as the 4th track, just to like...
Lean for Real.
I feel like it should be Lean 3 Real, because it's the 3rd track.
4th track.
Exactly. See, we're bringing that back.
To the Alex.
Oh, shit. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Wow, good times.
Only
Guys, let's play a clip from that episode real quick.
I like that song.
It's pretty good.
I think it's a good way to open Sonic Colors.
For sure.
It's the opening Sonic Color vibes, you know?
It's the most Sonic Colors. It's the Sonic Colors.
Most Sonic Colors album of the year.
Yeah, really.
Could you imagine?
Wow, that was great.
Just reminiscent on past times.
Yeah, we're so desperate for ideas.
Yeah, because we're so far in our career, AJ, that we can do that, you know?
It's in season 2.
You know? Listen, he says I'm on them beans.
He is on those beans and he is on that lean.
Repetitive chorus again.
A staple on this album.
Yeah, this is how like 15-year-old me was introduced to Skepta though, and I really like Skepta. He's a big like United Kingdom like grime artist, just big rap artist over there, and his verse is pretty cool. Yeah,
I do. I think his feature is actually really cool on here, and he has another one on this album, right? Wait, is that a different guy I'm thinking of?
You might be thinking of a different guy.
I know Pierre Bourne is on here twice.
Bryson something I'm thinking of. My fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely the feature kind of saves this track for me.
Yeah.
It is better. I do think this track is considerably better than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the like you said, I definitely think the cloud rap beats are a lot better.
Yeah, definitely fits his style a lot more. It's a lot more mellow and laid back, and he's able to kind of capitalize on that a lot better, especially with these kind of repetitive choruses. It just fits the vibe a lot more to his style.
Yeah.
And he's on that bean for real, guys. Like, come on.
Really
what
is.
else? What more to say?
To like, good for you, Playboi Carti.
You really did it. Next up, we have Old.
Old Money. Yeah,
Old Money.
yeah.
I am having a fucking
It's
Macy
okay.
Peters moment.
By track 4, you were just like, it's called Old.
It's called Old.
It's just,
I already checked out.
for God's sake.
Listen, unlike him, I'm actually in favor of New Money Old Ho. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you know?
I can
I'm
say
just
to each
saying.
their own, man.
Listen, I know it's a little old fashioned, I guess,
Yeah.
but I needed to get that out there.
I
You know?
understand. I also don't like this track.
Neither do I. The
Really
bass,
repetitive.
the
Yeah.
bass is like really nauseating on this one.
Definitely, totally.
Like production wise, like usually I know it's kind of part of the way the genre is,
Yeah.
especially with like mumble and I guess cloud rapping. But like at the same time, I'm just like this time around, I was like, this is just
Yeah.
not palatable whatsoever.
Yeah, there's just like not too much like unique to make it stick out, and like the hook itself isn't very captivating, so I just kind of check out and just get kind of annoyed by it the
Yeah.
longer it goes on.
I used to love this one because I think the synth loop has like a lot of potential. Like a cool beat definitely could have been made out of that. But I'd agree. I don't like the way the bass punches it very
Yeah.
much. And the repetitiveness, it like he didn't like include much in the verses on this track, which usually
Definitely
will
not.
break up that repetitive chorus a little bit.
So he kind of dropped the ball on this one. Also, Matt, did you hear that?
Sorry, the whale that we put on the arc actually fell off the higher deck.
It's really getting stormy out there.
We're actually doing this all on a boat right now.
Yeah,
so
it's thunderstorming.
there's like zebras and
the
shit.
arc it's taking in water. It's not going well. Playboy's arc.
Anyway,
You know, it's about being rich and
Yeah.
and having hoes.
Maybe we just can't relate.
Exactly. I think that's
can't.
the issue.
listen, new money, old hoes.
Exactly.
Old hoe, actually, not new hoes. Never mind.
That hurts me that we can't kind of
It's
live
just
up to
me.
that.
The beat kind of feels like it could be like a Christmas
Little Christmas backing
song
instrumental.
a little bit or something. Yeah.
I have just one query. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, track number 5 is called Love Hurts.
A lot of pain on this album.
Dude, this one.
I don't care for this
I
one.
can't, I was just so excited to see that, this is, I forget what the notes are exactly. Isn't it just like C and E on a keyboard?
It's like,
the
it's
bass
so
is just C and E
simplistic,
Yeah,
and it's
over
like,
and over again.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And this is the one with Travis Scott, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just sounds like he's gargling
He
auto-tune.
No,
blends
for
in with
real.
just like the auto tune, like nothing.
It's pure gargle, and there's like really you can't really decipher
Yeah.
what he's saying.
This song sounds like just being like stuck in a room with both of them, and just,
Travis Scott is up to like a fan, and he's just like,
just standing up, like shimmying, and you're just like so uncomfortable.
you're
just like
uncomfortable.
rocking back and forth in a puddle of lean.
This was a single for the album. They dropped it on SoundCloud
I
like
can
a
see
week
that.
before, and I had no idea what to expect with this full album.
Was this
like,
before like Travis Scott got big?
No, he was really big at this point, but it was before he dropped like Astro World, which
Gotcha.
is when he
Yeah, blew
started
up.
becoming like a McDonald's mascot.
the pipeline, you
Yeah.
know, mumble rap.
I feel bad for making you guys talk about this. This one's like definitely one of my least favorites. Like the Love
It's
Hurts
not
one.
good. It's really bad.
Yeah.
I can't say that I enjoyed it whatsoever.
Like the autotune, like it's kind of a staple of that genre, but it's so obnoxious just the way that it's utilized. It's just it just
Yeah.
takes away from like what's being said and like
Yeah.
the rhythm and everything going on.
Like even if you were to like try and make an improvement to the track, I would say like adding like a kick drum in.
Yeah.
At all. Like just the synth bass and the
just
and, like,
something to
the-
ground it.
Yeah.
But I got really nothing else besides the fact that it really hurt me and I don't love it.
Love does hurt.
At the end of the day.
After all, yeah.
They were right.
After all.
And we move on to a track that I'm also not that fond of. We have Shoota featuring Lil Uzi Vert.
really?
Yeah, I don't really know. This the way that like Uzi's feature is, it doesn't feel right for some
Yeah.
reason. I just don't like his delivery, I guess, and it just sounds very corny and it's like kind of doesn't really fit the vibe either.
I definitely think that this is one of the better tracks on the record.
Okay.
Because, like,
It is different.
frankly, just all the features pull Playboi Carti solo, like, out
Yeah,
of the water at least a
definitely.
little bit. And I feel like, honestly, this one was one of the better ones. My fatigue, surprisingly, my fatigue had not set in until around, like, track 9 or track 10.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to hear your discussion when the fatigue sets in.
It's just like, Matt just goes full auto-tune. Whoa.
Auto-tuned health.
Oh boy. Yeah, no. Again, the feature kind of pulled it up a little bit,
Yeah.
but like the song isn't too long, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That goes for a lot of these tracks, I guess, is the good part. They don't overstay their welcome most of the time.
Yeah. I think this is one of the ones that's kind of aged a little bit better for me, just because Uzi's feature does it just breaks up again, having to continuously listen to Carti's voice and flow, because it is the same for a lot of this album. But I also like that his feature is used as kind of a build up into Carti's verse. I thought that was just a bit interesting, and this one seems like it would be pretty cool to see live, if anything.
Yeah, that's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
Do I have anything else? Probably not.
Nah, I don't.
Probably not.
It's got a cool key progression, I think. I like how you can kind of hear the different stylings between Uzi Vert and Playboi Carti, and it's a nice kind of switch up from everything we've been hearing, but otherwise I just don't really like his delivery, I guess.
Yeah, I forget who produced this one, but the loop is definitely really cool.
Yeah.
This is the art dealer. I'm just imagining Frank Reynolds in that episode of Always Sunny when he's dressing the wig. Yeah, that's the art dealer. That's what they look like, actually.
Hello.
Bullshit.
Now this is art.
You know what I want to talk about?
What's that?
Track number 7.
I do too.
Right now.
I actually really like this track.
You want to do it right now?
I
do.
I actually really like this one. I like the sample a lot.
Yeah, it's very video gamey.
Yes, that's what I also like when it goes into more of that kind of territory, the 8-bit stuff. That's very cool.
He sounds like a Sonic character. Sounds like how a Sonic character would be programmed into
in the real world.
If he was just demented and addicted to drugs.
Oh, you Playboi Carti! Just Eggman, just screaming at him.
Echidna.
Playboy. Echidna, yeah.
This also sees Pierre Bourne at this time, who was his go-to producer, rapping, which tends to not get a lot of respect from a lot of people. People hate when Pierre Bourne raps.
Is there a reason, or
his solo albums are a lot Die Lit, but he kept doing it after 2018.
Gotcha. Okay.
Carti stopped after 2018.
I see.
That's absurd.
Pierre Bourne is in 2024 making Die Lit still.
Understandable. Okay. Well, fair enough. I mean, on here he's fine because I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Because it fits the rest of the tone, but I can imagine once this is kind of a peaked in popularity, that just doesn't really fly anymore. So I can see that. But I just really enjoyed this overall, mostly for the beat itself. Also, nice little Bill Gates call out. We love that.
We do.
A line I want to shout out, and she called me Doolittle. Yeah, I'm talking to my dogs.
Does Pierre say that or Carti?
I don't remember.
That'd be insane for Carti.
I was in a bit of a fugue state when I was listening to this album, so it's hard to recall. But yeah, I enjoyed the beat overall on this one. So I guess we can move on to this next one.
We definitely can.
Poke It Out with fucking Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Feature.
I was very surprised by that.
They performed this one on Saturday Night Live.
Holy shit!
What?
Did Lorne Michaels have a heart attack?
Probably. It's Nicki Minaj staying center stage, and then Playboi Carti jumping around her.
What was it? There's this really funny video of Bill Hader trying to do impressions of Lorne Michaels talking about serial killers. He'd be Pennywise, he said all this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just imagining Playboi Carti, Die Lit by
out.
number 8 on
Die Lit.
They should have gotten him in a comedy sketch. That would have been
that'd been insane.
Hilarious. This one's got another video game beat to it though.
Yeah.
I don't mind this one either. I guess technically instrumentally, but Nicki's feature is fine. It's very different from I guess what she's usually used to doing.
Yeah, she tries to do what Carti's doing.
Match it up.
And then I love how that she's just all right, forget it. And
just goes on.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. I do have a question. So he's talking. I don't know. Genuinely, is he talking about Nicki in the beginning?
Do you have what he says in the beginning? Because I forget.
Yeah, but let's review the footage.
I don't know if I should read it because he says something
put it into your own
polka
paraphrase.
Polka dot and a fat ass. Pretty much.
Oh, I did write ass fat down here. Yeah.
Ass, fat
it's a big
anywhere?
ass. He could be. We never know.
It makes sense.
I feel like she wouldn't take that if he was just you know what I mean.
Kind of sweet if it was a love song for Nicki. Maybe redeem himself for track 2. Well, he actually does later, but we'll get into that.
The funny thing, there's a lyric on here that I did call out. It was Playboy hit me on the FaceTime. Best thing from the Big Apple since the FaceTime.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I was thinking Playtime.
I'm sure you guys loved that lyrical.
It was
genius.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great.
A lot of good rhyme schemes on this album.
Thanks, Nikki.
Stuff you want to think of. Anything else?
Let's take it home. Let's take it home.
Well said,
I don't
Matt.
really like it overall. Poke it out. Like, but that said, there's parts of it I like, but overall, I hate that song.
I don't mind it. I think it's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, it's whatever.
As Matt so eloquently put, next up is Home, parentheses KOD. What does that mean, Andrew?
Your guess is as good as mine. KOD.
Cape Cod.
Oh, I wonder if it's Kids on Drugs. I don't know.
Knockoff drink.
That's what J. Cole's album from earlier this year was called, actually. KOD. So it's probably not that, but
Hey, question of the
You
week.
never know.
What does KOD stand for?
Listen, maybe I'm just hallucinating or something, right? But I feel like his flow on this is actually a lot better considerably than like the past 8 tracks for me.
Gotcha.
on Home KOD.
Yeah. Like his enunciation is just like a little bit more tolerable for me on this track, at least when I was listening to it initially.
I'm generally like kind of like not like a fan of this album, but I appreciate what it did like
Yeah.
offer in 2018. And this one makes me feel like I'm in a psych ward.
I agree. I don't like this track. This track doesn't agree with
I
me.
think it's the most repetitive one on the album, like the beat especially.
100%. I don't really like it that much. I mostly kind of, for my notes, it was a checkpoint track, as I like to call it, where I kind of take a moment to reflect on my overall thoughts on the album.
On life.
Yeah, on life, on how I got here.
How did I get here?
But I was kind of like saying, like the samples can kind of grow on you when samples grow on me when they're used in the right context. And then on this track, I was like, okay, bad example here, but in general, because it's just like, I guess, kind of aggressive and very repetitive. It's just nothing too special and very obnoxious.
I would agree.
Next up, we have Fell in Love. This is one that I don't mind. I think it's all right.
It's definitely all right. That is the only thing I think I can say about it.
I like the like creative process it probably took to like make this beat, because it's like some like original like sample. I don't know exactly, but like with the melody reversed. So that's a cool little innovative idea.
And there's some nice like backup vocals in there too, which is a little more variety from the monotony we've been hearing.
Bryson Tiller's a really good vocalist too. He doesn't really sing here, but like he like raps mainly.
Yeah.
But it was cool to hear him on like this style of beat, because he usually doesn't do that at all.
Mm-hmm. Just a nice way to kind of change things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And a little more kinder to women than on track 2.
A love
Just a
song
little.
if the lyrics were literally just fell in love.
It's funny you mentioned about like it was a sample that was reversed, because I thought like the next sample or whatever.
Oh no, the next track.
Yeah, that sounded like it was like something reversed, because it reminded me of something else.
Well, let's just dive right in.
What is
then.
the next track, AJ?
Oh, the next track. Well, I'm glad you asked, Andrew. The next track on Playboi Carti's Die Lit is called Foreign.
Oh, yeah. I think this is no reverse melody, too.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of like, you guys ever play Majora's Mask?
Oh, I love Majora's Mask.
Like,
Absolutely.
do you know the Song of Healing? And then when
Yeah.
you play it, it's kind of like
The
doing it in
inverted
reverse.
Song of
Yeah.
Healing.
Totally see that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
reminds me of that. Not even like playing it like the melody backwards. I mean, like when you play it, it does this weird like effect where it's like the melody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like each note strike is reverse.
That's when the album's going to make you a little happy, is when you're just like, oh, just make me think of Zelda. Yeah. Make me think of a little Majora's Mask.
Think
right
of
now.
anything else.
I also thought it was interesting how on this track they used Tupac as a verb.
Hey,
They're gonna Tupac me.
when you're such an icon, you reach
Yeah.
verb status.
This one was like leaked, I think, before the album came out, so a lot of people were like excited for it when it did drop.
Gotcha.
That's a big like reoccurring thing with Carti's music, is people like leak it all the time and steal it from. I guess he has like a really bad like hacker
Track
like, security or something.
It's probably just like one guy at a computer. Oh, they got it again. You know?
God damn it! Who is this? It's Jerry Rice.
Probably the art dealer from It's Always Sunny.
Exactly. On Gogoblogian, at it again. I said that this track kind of sounds like when you joke rap with your friends to see how far you can take a bit. Because it's just very silly. Like the bars are just very easy.
Not taking it seriously.
Exactly. It's a little silly. And I don't really care for it. Next up we have Pull Up.
Well,
Yeah. This
I'm just
This one's
gonna.
innovative.
I'm just gonna say
Dare I
this.
say?
I'm gonna say this right away. I needed to just highlight this part in my notes.
Yeah.
I hated both this track and the next track equally
Yeah, I can see that.
because we don't discriminate here. Okay, tracks 12 and 13.
Are we just gonna do a little double feature?
We'll do both of them.
Yeah.
I hated both of them. Pull Up is just him saying "bit" over and over again, and it really pissed me off. Not gonna lie, the entire oh my god, like I don't know what it was about it, but I was actually seeing like red, just like just
A
seething,
whole lot already.
seething fire. You know,
Just ad libs for the first minute. Like,
Yeah,
I think
essentially.
it clocks in at like 50 something seconds.
Yeah,
like of just that.
Nah.
Of onomatopoeia and
Yeah.
like weird, hard, scratchy synth lines.
He's
Very,
saying-
very weird.
because he says "bit" like BIH, but he's saying "bitch."
Yeah.
Like that's what he's saying like over and I was just like, dude, like kill me.
Don't
This
forget
is-
beep and skirt as well. Those are pretty iconic.
Oh, okay, I didn't consider that
Just all
actually.
these fake gun noises. Yeah, I used to be like, oh, it's so different. He's doing something that no one's done before. But I like going back to it, like, you know, a while later, like the beat like doesn't like justify like just not like because the beat
Yeah.
on Pull Up as like I think that's like awful. Like I don't like it.
No, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's-
also just like 3 keys on a synth or
Yeah.
something.
But mileage is obnoxious for another reason in terms of content.
Yeah, this is when he likes women and doesn't care about their body count.
I think it's Chief Keef at one point when because he's the feature. Fucking he says something like "I'm getting head" and they just said Betty Boop and I was like, well, I was like, this is where my life has amounted to right now.
Now
Listening to this.
bars, dare I say. Just like the overall, like I guess, like hook of the song is very silly, like Miley Cyrus and mileage.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
don't-
kind of, it's
It's a weird
yeah.
slant rhyme. Like it's just like
It
a
doesn't really work.
no, it really doesn't.
No, it's playing on like it's like a cute play on words and trying to like, kind of like reach out to like I guess to the Zoomer audience, being like, hey, you know this person.
Yeah.
Like, ha ha ha.
This is
Women.
that's probably exactly what he was going for. That's hilarious. This is one of my like more favorite like beats on the record though. I like the beat a lot.
I don't like when he says "gimme gimme."
Yeah,
That part,
that's
made me
right
feel
before the
icky.
Betty Boop line.
Yeah.
Oh, Chief Keef says that.
Yeah, it's right before the Betty Boop
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm deciphering. I'm
okay.
sorry. I'm
None
trying
of
my
us
best.
want to talk about this album.
You guys have decided you did not like it.
Hey, well, we'll save our final thoughts till we get there.
Yeah,
There's-
yeah, sorry.
I think
did.
you already know mine, but do you have
Roll
anything
Stone.
else to say about track 13?
It's very silly,
It is very silly.
It's a little goofy.
a little goofy, maybe dare I say a little quirky.
Track 14
Yeah.
is called Flatbed Freestyle, but I've read it 17 times as Flatbread Freestyle,
It's just in the mall.
Yeah.
which frankly, I would love to see anybody do that, but that's for another day.
For a more capable artist.
I enjoy this track a little bit more than the other ones, I think, at this point, which begs the question, if the other ones were written and collaborated with, like, lyrically,
Yeah.
how is this one better than the other ones?
Hey man, Playboi Carti works in mysterious ways.
I guess so.
Yeah.
This is the one where he turns into a actual infant in the middle of the song.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and he did that for like a while after this song. Like he was like, you know what, when I did
This
that
is
in
me.
Flatbed Freestyle, that was great.
I felt that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna like mention like his voice like sounded odd in here, like it sounded different from the rest, and then I was like, oh yeah, he just goes baby mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This also has like just like such a funny lyric to me too. And this isn't Andrew Marshall saying this. This is like a direct quotation, but he says, my bitch yucky, she don't give me head.
My bitch
While
yucky.
he's in the infant voice. It's hilarious.
My bitch yucky. Rugrats Chucky.
That was definitely what he like scrapped that on a
Yeah,
notepad.
it's
He
like,
was like, nah,
it's
we don't-
too easy.
We don't got to bring up the Rugrats.
It's too obvious. I will say here is where my fatigue kind of set through on my first active listen, and it's where I kind of realized that this album.
Things were gonna change.
Well, yeah, I realized that a long time ago. But I realized I like this album more on a passive listen, where it's just kind of in the background when I don't have to like focus on it.
Yeah.
Because like when you focus on it, there's really like not a lot to focus on because it's just kind of the same thing over and over. But just kind of like leaving it on to like soundtrack, whatever you're doing, it's a lot more interesting because you can just kind of get like lost in the beats, just kind of groove along to it.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of goofy.
What you said about not actively listening is like verbatim what I wrote in my final thoughts.
Nice.
So at least we're on the same page there.
Very cool.
Because I can see the appeal to this record, despite me
totally.
making fun of it, everybody. I could definitely see if you're just kind of trying to like chill and like zone out, maybe go on a live stream and play PS5 Spider-Man while you're just swinging through the city. Because
is this like a personal experience you're having?
no, this sounds
What Matt's
exactly.
planning on doing later tonight.
Yeah, follow me on TikTok. I'm actually
At Playboi Carti 69.
Finally listen to Dialytic.
no, because like a lot of these tracks like remind me of like the kind of music that because I watch a lot of live streams on TikTok where if I'm just trying to like let my brain just like rest for a second of people just swinging around in the new Spider-Man game, just like from building to building. So it's kind of fun, you know what I mean? It's just mindless.
That's
like
definitely
Spider-Man.
what it is in music form.
No.
Spider-Man swinging.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mindless fun.
Sometimes they play cooler songs though.
But it's usually Playboi Carti.
He's definitely like around that. It's that ballpark area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that crew.
But yeah, no flatbread for this guy.
Flatbed's fine.
Yeah.
It's a fine song.
But we ain't got no more time for that. So let's move on to this next track, No Time.
Yeah, it's not time.
The synth reminds me of an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's what I like about it. It's just the that's what I think is the ice cream truck synth as well.
It goes kind of back to like the more kind of mellow vibes, which I appreciate. But I'm in fatigue mode, so I'm starting to check out.
Incognito mode, yeah.
Yeah.
Gunna is like the perfect artist to like be on like a fatigue part of the album because he fits just right in a Playboi part. He's like, yeah, we're doing that.
Yeah, he got the memo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
This
don't
one
really got
goes
much
on
else.
just for long. It's just a very repeated chorus, but because I like it when it first comes on, and that first like intro part of the beat I like a lot. But yeah, it definitely goes on a while.
I would say like that whole kind of like idea for like the last kind of like chunk of this album, like the tracks kind of just feel longer for some reason, and they are longer than a lot of what we've been hearing, which is very strange for the end of the album. And I feel like that works to its detriment, unfortunately. Shall we just keep going?
Yeah.
Next up is Middle of the Summer. Red Cold Hearted. Her feature was very refreshing.
It was.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote too.
It was nice to hear some nice little switch ups, some nice, I guess, like a female vocalist on here to kind of diversify the sound.
Definitely. I think this is sampled in the like Minions soundtrack.
Oh, good.
Like, the newer like Minions movie. Like they sample like this song for a song by another artist.
Nice.
All right, well, that's
Yeah.
good. At least I have a reason to like the album now. So, I mean,
It gave us something for the Minions.
The Minions heads.
Yeah, Minion fanatics out
A
there.
lot of
And-
overlap between the Playboi Carti and Minions community.
it's just like Bastille being a pipeline into Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Yeah, exactly.
He was
hip-hop
gonna
equivalent.
get one of the Minions featured actually.
Yo, they got Kevin on this shit.
Kevin and Bob.
Oh my god. I don't even think I know their names.
That's probably for the best.
Again, I really have nothing to say about this track.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
there's a goofy little mumble interlude. There's some nice kind of speed and energy that kind of brings things up a little bit, but it is certainly a track on Playboi Carti's Die Lit. Next up, we have Choppa Won't Miss. Is this the one that I like? No, it's not.
That was so a bit.
Just looks and none of the ones left.
That felt like a bit. Is that the one like, oh, won't you look at that? No, it's not. Like,
Have you guys ever listened to Young Thug before?
I don't think so.
No.
What do you think of his vocals?
Shit. This was the fuck.
I say that because it's usually like just like it's quite the thing to experience for the first time.
I said funny verse by Young Thug.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, Young Thug is just kind of a goofy guy that says some things that he probably shouldn't have.
yeah.
A lot of things that probably should have been said on this album in
It's
general.
a song about shooting
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very kind of funny in terms of juxtaposition with this very kind of low-key sample with
Yeah.
these very aggressive lyrics.
And then just the pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
Like at the very end,
And some more baby noises as well.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had enough of those yet,
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Melanie Martinez.
She could never. God, I hope she doesn't.
I love making AJ uncomfortable talking about Melanie Martinez.
Yeah, my
it's
least favorite artist of all time.
make like 70% of the population uncomfortable by bringing up Melanie Martinez.
Thanksgiving dinner, just
Hey, mom and dad. Found this cool new artist. You think you might like?
Crybaby.
Oh God,
Son, we're disowning you.
they would keel over if they heard anything on that album.
True.
But we're not talking about "Cry Baby" by Melanie Martinez, even
We
though it's
already
AJ's
did.
favorite album. We're talking about "Die Lit" by Playboi Carti.
That's true. We got 2 tracks left, so let's.
Oh wow, really? We're only going through 17.
I know
17 straight songs.
exactly. We kind of flew through this. Surprisingly, it didn't feel like it, but we did.
Yeah, I understand why there wouldn't be a lot to say analytically.
It's a little tough. It's a little tough.
Just a little bit.
But penultimate track, we have "R.I.P. Fredo." Parentheses, notice me. This track is stinky doo doo. I don't really care for it.
Yeah.
Just in terms of, I guess, like the concept and the constant like notice me stuff is just really weird.
Yeah, you could play the first like 3 seconds of this one and you've heard it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
essentially.
Yeah.
I like the J Schlatt references when he says
Did he
slat
really?
over. No.
Oh, okay.
He says slat over and over again, and that's the only thing
yeah,
I
yeah,
took
I
away
think
from
I
this
think of.
track. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did not reference J
I
Schlatt.
was gonna say.
Could you fucking imagine?
Dream SMP. Just like for me.
Just rapping about Jay
Jay
Schlatt and Ted.
Girlfriend Yucky. My name is Chucky. Oh God. Yeah, I literally have nothing to say about this track
Yeah, it's
at all.
I guess it's a tribute track to Fredo Santana,
Yeah.
who's one of Chief Keef's like friends who passed away.
But it's a very weird tribute.
He tributes him, and Fredo Santana like unfortunately passed away due to like codeine, like
Yeah.
drinking lean, and then he has a song earlier on the album where
Lean
he's like,
for real.
I love lean. It's a bit contradicting.
Guys, let's just say Playboi Carti is the modern day Icarus. You know, he's just gonna lean a little too close to the sun.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
at the very
probably
end,
should.
we hit top. Brother, I barely have anything.
I
The
don't.
Airborne is back,
Yeah, this one's very repetitive as well.
and it's certainly the closer of Dial-It.
Yeah, I don't even like. I can find at least a redeeming quality in like most of the beats on this record, but this one I don't really just like the instrumental too much.
It's kind of like a waste of a closer. Like it doesn't really feel like it has closer energy.
Yeah.
It's very like sleepy.
It feels like it should go on for 19 more tracks. What was
honestly-
he doing? It cutting it this short.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering,
At
dude.
this point, you know, like might as well.
Yeah. But I think that'll wrap it up for this track by track.
Yeah,
So
I'm interested to hear your guys' overall thoughts.
final thoughts.
Technically, the guest does go first. So
That is
I mean,
true.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately,
We could change things up though if you'd like to hear our thoughts first.
No. I'll go.
All right. We're not fucking with the formula.
Don't mess
Thank
with the formula.
thank God. The executives will get mad if we do that.
And Mike
Yeah,
Love.
I realize it's like absolutely not perfect, but I don't know. It's the carefree and like fun aspects of it like definitely do get to me.
Yeah.
And you know, I have like friends who also like just like we would like kind of like listen to this album in like high school like every
Yeah.
once in a while just because it was really like it was just talked about a lot for its time. And Playboi Carti just has that like ability to just like bring attention to himself, and that's just like all that like all these like rap blogs and just like a lot of people who are into hip hop nowadays like talk about. He's like just always
He's
like a
the
top
guy.
subject.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's just an interesting listen, and I think it's kind of like it's just fun to like discuss. And I don't know. Weirdly enough, I'm like it's a nightmare, but like I'm glad it exists because it also like it influenced like a lot of like just strange like hip hop that I thought was like kind of like interesting to listen to during this time. Do you guys usually do like a like out of 10?
Yeah, a
or
little
something,
rating.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you would have asked me when I was like, you know, like
In high school.
a while ago, like I probably would have like said like 7 or like 8, but like it's definitely like a it's like a like 5 to me. Like I think if you know, there's probably only like half of the track list that like I actually do like still enjoy.
I gotcha. I think it's a very fair rating. But Matt, what did you think of Dial-It?
Here come the 0.5.
Well, okay. So, in all seriousness, and I'm going to be frank with you for about a couple of things. The first thing is, I was so fatigued after listening to this, I don't even have ending notes written down.
Oh, cool.
Unlike my usual episodes
So we're on the fly.
of the family album. Yes, we're pretty much
family
completely on the fly here. I think for what it is, you know, it's like, would you say this is industry like mumble rap, pretty much? Or like, would you describe that? Like mainstream, sort of, kind of?
That's probably what like people would call it.
Yeah.
I think like for what it is, like the production, it's not like bad. Like, and I don't think there's anything inherently like terrible about this record. You know what I mean? I also have to just acknowledge, like, you see, probably something that's very frustrating for AJ dealing with me is that I'm super, like, if I can't really like a genre, I have a lot of trouble understanding a genre. And like mumble rap is just what?
Loveless.
It's okay. I'm warming up a little bit on that record.
Hey, and I appreciate that.
Because I changed my mind about a lot of things. And maybe I had the capacity to change my mind about this. But in the time frame that I spent listening to this, it definitely was not for me.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing up the fact that I'm very kind of like, you know, rigid when it comes to liking genres that, like, I don't know, are not really my thing. It's just I don't see any reality where I will like this.
Yeah, I gotcha.
To be fair, and like I'm saying that in the really, really, like, in the nicest way I can. Just I think it's just a lot of things I don't like about this record are just things that kind of come with the genre. And unlike shoegaze and even like what was it? Midwestern emo.
Oh yeah.
Unlike that too, I feel like I don't think I foresee myself getting into it. I'll try again, you know? That's what I kind of do with every album I listen to, even after I review it. I like to see if I change my mind about albums I really don't like.
Yeah.
Even ones that I really do like as I go back. But yeah, I don't know. Just his delivery is not at all what I'm looking for. The production feels just really processed, you know? I feel like it kind of suffers from like the Bailey Zimmerman kind of thing, where it's like a bunch of tracks and maybe like you shuffle in a couple of these tracks with like other things of different varieties, it's like going to be a bit more palatable.
But the same thing over and over.
It's just way, way too much. I will say his album art is a lot better than Bailey Zimmerman's.
Oh, 100% agree
so
on
that's
that
at
one.
least the good thing.
Yeah.
Religiously by Bailey Zimmerman, the worst album art ever. But yeah, the record is cohesive in theme and sound as well as consistent, so I can't knock it for that. He obviously has a target audience that he
is playing to.
Yeah, and has accumulated and accrued over the years, you know? So it's just, I don't know. It's not an album that you listen to actively.
Yeah.
It's kind of exhausting to listen to this actively in the way that we do, AJ.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie to you.
Oh, I 100% agree.
So, live rating, I guess.
Yeah.
As well. I'm probably gonna have to give this like a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I thought it was going to be lower.
I listen, like, with all the stuff that I said, like I said, the things I don't like about it are all genre things. So I'm like, I can't knock this too hard.
Yeah.
But I also don't think content-wise there was anything that was going to, like, you know,
blow you away.
Push the Sisyphean rock up the hill finally. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to. So, I don't know. I just, I'd say like 4, maybe like 4.1 or something out of 10. And yeah, this is probably going to stay in D tier for a very long time.
Fair enough. I feel pretty similar to you, Matt. I definitely enjoy this more as a passive listen. Like, just throwing this on like at work, it just kind of like makes work a little more like tolerable because I can just kind of like tune it out and just kind of like let the beat like take over and just groove along while I'm doing like whatever. But just sitting here taking notes about like what's going on in the track just gets very old because
I'm sure that was painful.
Yeah, because it's the same thing over and over again. And like Matt said, I definitely see like the appeal of this. Like his flows are very simple and repetitive and like easy to remember and follow along with. It's very service level, so like what you hear is what you get. There's really not a lot to kind of like decipher. His features definitely kind of help bolster him and kind of helps like diversify things, except when they kind of lean into his style, and then it works more towards its detriment. The beats are kind of a gamble when it leans into more like the video game cloud rap stuff. That really helps kind of because it fits it with this style a lot better. But when it goes for like more harder, aggressive beats, it doesn't really work at all. Just because like that's just not the personality I get from him. But this is like music that former guest of the show, Andrew Cavalier, fucking loves, and I can totally see why. Like this fits his vibe to a T. So I definitely like see like why people like this, but it's just not what I look for in rap. What I look for in rap is on the next album we're going to talk about. And that's what I prefer better. So I don't hate it, but I'm never going to listen to this again. So I'd say like C- D+, I'd say.
Yeah. And just real quick, one thing I do remember kind of being the appeal for me is like, I think it's hard for me to remember, but like the first couple times I heard it, I definitely like felt the way like you guys did. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like this, like there's nothing in this for me to enjoy. And then like after a couple listens, you're just like, like vacuuming the house one day and you're just like, I'm on the lean for this.
Literally.
So, I don't know.
when you kind of pair it with like the mundane, it just kind of helps like bolster and make it more fun.
Yeah.
Like, I was like bobbing my head while I was taking a piss at work to like
Yeah,
leave for real. And like I was like, no, I see it. I fuck with this a little bit, but like actively sitting down and listening to this, like, no.
I get you.
AJ, there's a perfect band to listen to for when you're taking a piss, and it's the Yellow River Boys.
Oh
like
my
I
God.
keep suggesting to you.
Matt, suggest all you want. I would rather listen to this album again than
You're
anything
gonna
by the
listen
Yellow
to
River
it.
Boys.
You're gonna listen to it. Mark my words.
Oh boy.
There's a piss themed band called the Yellow River Boys.
I can kind of tell by the name.
and I want AJ to listen to it very badly.
I don't.
The problem is they don't have a lot of tracks on their one album, and I'm waiting for them to release a longer album.
So you can force me to do it on like an episode?
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Well, if the Yellow River Boys are listening, please don't release an album. So I don't have to deal with this.
You just have them snap their fingers and go, dang it.
He told me not to. Guess we're over, boys.
I think they actually are touring right now.
Oh, shit.
Well, we'll go see them.
Oh, boy. With all the money that we make from this episode. Well, that was fun talking about Playboi Carti, but we got one more album we got to talk about.
Yeah.
And that's Piñata by Freddie Gibbs. So shall we just hop right in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Piñata by Freddie Gibbs was released March 18th, 2014 on Madlib Invasion Records, and it's the first collab album between music fan favorite rapper Freddie Gibbs and legendary hip-hop producer Madlib. After meeting through Ben Lambo, Madlib gave Gibbs a sampler of CDs for beats to use, and they recorded the album separately, creating, as Gibbs put, a blaxploitation film on wax, discussing themes of being flawed and regrets, and I think it works very well.
It really does. These
Hopefully
tracks
this was a bit more enjoyable to listen to because I love this.
so much. Like I listened to the other one, so I don't know if we actually said my listening process of like between the two albums for this point of time. I had tried to listen to this is to the audience. I don't know why I'm looking at so audience. I had tried to listen to the previous album. I only got halfway through, and then I waited a bit, and then listened to the whole thing. And then I listened to this, and it's the most refreshing thing I think I've ever done in my entire life.
It's probably a good palate cleanser.
It very much was.
Yeah.
This album is very, very fun.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, and Madlib just never misses
Yeah, he's
on a single beat.
one of the best producers of all time. Probably my favorite like hip hop producer.
Love them.
Yeah, so good.
Definitely one of mine too.
I feel like this episode, for me personally, it's like two ultimatums. Like the one album, it has like so little offering it that I don't have a lot to say. Then the other one, like I like it so much that I also don't have a lot to say.
Gotcha.
Even as criticism, like it's wild, but it's very good. I do have some stuff to say.
Hopefully. I've had history with this album before. This ain't my first time listening to Freddie Gibbs. I discovered him back in like 2022 with their other collab, Bandana, which is probably my favorite Gibbs project. They're just a really good combo, and I feel like I don't quite like this album as much as I like Bandana, but it's still up there. I fucking love this album, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
So let's get into it with this little overture intro, Supplier. It's got like a nice little sample that kind of gives you the themes of the album with some little dialogue.
Yeah, just starting off with a little, like, primal drums. Just
Exactly.
Ready to kill.
Very, very much matches the album cover.
Yeah,
I feel like
definitely.
Freddie's, it looks intimidating in that photo.
he
very
stands
much so.
up.
Yeah, I could kick my ass without a
Oh,
doubt.
100%, dude.
Kill me.
If we're thinking about it, yeah.
Listen, in compare, Will Toledo, nah, absolutely not. But
No,
like
yeah, you can snap Will Toledo in half.
Toledo versus Freddie Gibbs.
That's my favorite death
epic
battle.
rap battles of history. My boy, we don't.
Thuggin.
Oh man, I do like this intro though.
Yeah, it's really not like a lot to say. It's just kind of a
Yeah, just the opening sample.
exactly. But next up, we got Scarface, the true opener to this track, and I guess like Playboi Carti, you know what you're getting from the get go here. But I think it works a lot better.
It really gave me a lot of stuff to look forward to. I was actually working today a little bit, like at work. Where else would I be working? I don't know why I phrased it like that. I was getting pretty hyped though. Scarface is a very, very good, like true opener.
Absolutely.
The beat carries, but it's like not imposing or anything, and it's just like
It just adds on to Freddie Gibbs' flow.
And
There's an
true-
awesome like flute sample in there, which fucking rules.
in true Madlib fashion.
Exactly. That's what Madlib does. He just bolsters the artist with his immaculate samples.
And, right off the bat, you kind of get a sense of what Freddie Gibbs likes to rap about.
Yes.
He likes to be with women per se.
And drugs.
He likes to kill. He likes to deal drugs. Yeah, and the instrumental definitely does like. It's cool. It's got like a little jam to it. It's like really
it's very
like funky.
groovy.
Like you could dance to it almost.
Yeah. As you listen to this man talk about killing, drug dealing,
like you want to dance to it. Also, Madlib has like a little like instrumental interlude at the end that I also just get stuck in my head all the time, and I love it. And then right off the bat, like everyone knows this who like listen to any of like Madlib's work, but like you can tell he just like has like samples and just beats that someone can rap over, just going through his head constantly. So yeah, I love this track.
It's definitely a good way to open the album. Next up, we have Deeper. This one kind of slows things down a little bit.
Yeah, it's a love song.
Yeah. I really like the kind of like the chorus focused on the sample. I don't know. I forget if I wrote it down. But it's like the kind of the funk singer who just kind of who sings the deeper hook.
No, for real.
It's very interesting.
Dude, Freddie's flow here is so fucking good.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh my God.
It's like poetic stanzas. Like, I mean, obviously the subject matter's like, like intense.
Yes.
It is.
But the way he delivers it. Yeah.
It's like the Goodfellas version of like rap, like a rap album. Like, it's just like so like cartoonishly like, gangster and over the top. But he gets really vulnerable on it. Like my favorite lyric off of Deeper is maybe you grew up and I'm still living like I'm 16. Like that whole like, part. It's just it's like it shows like self-awareness, like which like you don't think you're gonna get from him, but you do. Yeah,
there's also like the bit towards the end where like he sees the dude that like his like ex-lover like kind of is fucking with now, and like he kind of is like, but really this is the person that like you're fucking with, but he doesn't want to like get in the way of that cause, like for her happiness. It's like oh damn, that's so bittersweet.
Someone who's square, as he says.
Yes. Little astronaut dude.
SquarePants.
SpongeBob, the whole operation. Sorry, I had to
Billy
just
Woods and Freddie
talk about Billy Woods real quick. I love him.
Love him to death.
He's really great.
Yes.
If we're talking more about the sample, just like I really like it a lot. Just flipping this like easy listening plus soul type beat.
Those little strings in there too.
Oh, they're not little strings.
Those big strings.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Pretty powerful
it's everything.
in the mix, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
I mean that in like the most like I'm so happy they're there kind of way.
Yeah,
like just oh my God. Love me some good strings.
Yeah, totally.
Well, anyway.
Sorry, I got nothing else to say. I was looking at my notes.
Track number 4 is called High, and AJ is featuring one of our favorite rappers of all time.
Yes, Danny Brown. This is probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. I fucking love High.
This track fucking bangs.
It's so good.
It's stylistically so fucking good from beginning to end. 100%. That ending, like, it's so jarring, but I love it so much.
I love the chorus with like the female backup vocalist and like Freddie kind of like accenting that like on the upbeats.
Yeah.
And of course, Danny Brown's feature. Fucking insane.
Comes out of nowhere, but it's awesome.
That's how he does it every time. Like, it's so fun.
Exactly.
What was it? I think it's fun hearing Danny Brown's like cadence before he really like leans into like the real like scaring the hose kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, even on like Humans by Gorillaz a little bit kind of like era.
He kind of like gives you a little warning before going into it.
Something I kind of like about this track is like obviously like the subject matter is kind of like it's like an ode to weed.
Yeah.
It's a big like marijuana anthem, and Madlib does that on Mad Villainy too with MF Doom. So it's cool to these two albums
overlap.
get compared all the time.
I can see that.
I'm pretty sure I did in my notes at one point.
Yeah, Madlib's genius.
Because this album is pretty much just everything I love about
Mad Villainy.
Mad Villainy, but just longer and bolstered.
And a different artist.
And a different art. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, him and Freddie together.
Good combo.
They really unlock great hip hop. And I don't even know how you'd begin to produce a beat like this.
I know, it's
like,
so fucking good.
Crazy.
Like the fucking like synth riff is so fucking good.
Yeah.
The guitars are amazing.
And just the stylistic ending, like I said before, just like where, the whole track
slows down.
The whole track stops and it's him just kind of like whining as he gets off the high. And it's like, dude, that's so fucking real, man. I know. It's so real, but just so well done.
Such a great idea.
Yeah, one of the better tracks.
Definitely.
I mean, all of them are great, but this one's like top tier.
Agreed. Next up, we have another top tier for me. I really like Harold's.
Harold's is so catchy.
Harold's is awesome.
The hook is so good on this one.
Man.
The fucking guitar, like over and over again. Also, we're going to Marshalltown.
Oh shit, dude, your hometown.
Oh yeah. Well, doesn't he say he's gonna like shoot?
You might want to stay away from
Yeah,
there.
get out of there. Get out of there while you still can, actually.
Yeah, he's like grabbing the 9 to get someone. Whatever he says. Yeah, no, he's just talking about one of his like favorite like chicken places. On the,
and he's
I love
like
it.
repeating his order. Which is such a good hook.
This is also like, I don't know if like someone wanted to like learn how to rap. Like it's this track is such a good formula and goes from verse to like his hook like so well that it's just like a blueprint.
Yeah. And like even within the verses, like it's usually the first part is kind of like its own thing, but like the second part ties into the chorus where it goes into like more like food metaphors, which then like perfectly segues into the chorus. So it's like really good for writing as well. Just kind of like how to progress naturally. It's just a really well done song, and the sample is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Anything else?
No, but speaking of beautiful, I love the intro of this next one.
Yeah, this next one's cool.
Bomb featuring Raekwon.
Yeah, it's definitely a switch up in terms of like sound from that intro, from like more kind of like the classic jazz and funk to like this almost like techno kind of synth riff.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I dig it. I really dig it.
Like first like little bit. Like
yeah.
If he had just rapped, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If he had just found like a way to rap over like the initial intro, that would have been insane. But I do like what they did with it later on the track. Like it was very good. Yeah. And Raekwon's feature is just so fucking good.
Oh yeah, man.
Like this might be one of my favorites.
Legend, yeah.
Yes.
I know. I love this song. That low end bass that Madlib like just moves. Like he just like you can just see him just like
moving the slider
like, with his like little like
his little Madlib fingers.
Yeah. And then I don't even know how to explain it. Like this song, you just need to like experience, like, because it's tough to even like say how he chops these beats up. But he goes into a loop like after like Freddie Gibbs's like verses and like Raekwon's feature, and he plays the loop and then puts the low end bass like back in like underneath the loop, and it's so cool.
Yeah, the way he like plays with samples is like so creative.
It really is.
And, like original. It's awesome. And it's really cool when you can collaborate with an artist that kind of can like be flexible with that style. Because when I was doing my research for this album, he was saying like he doesn't work with rappers that aren't like human. Like he needs to work with a rapper that can kind of like go with a more freeform style in terms of their delivery, so they can kind of like get off and on the beat to just make it feel more natural, which Freddie Gibbs definitely executes very well.
Yeah.
Which makes him a great combo.
One of my favorite lyrics off of this track, I wrote down like a couple lyrics that I just really like. Well, not one of my favorites, it's just like heart-wrenching, is Kiss My Mama, told her if I die then it was part of nature, and then it just goes into that loop part. Like,
Jesus.
It's just like, brutal.
The one I wrote down is nowhere near as emotionally vulnerable as that. It's kill cockroaches like Tony, got Montana moves.
It's always a good Tony Montana.
Yeah.
It's
like, haha.
Yep.
Next up, we got Shitsville. This one goes hard.
I really like this one. That synth is fucking insane.
Yeah, man.
It's so good.
Arpeggiating.
The only thing I can think of to like compare this to is like Vivaldi's Winter or anything like that. Like it's got this weird like movement thing that's like kind of like going back. Dude, it's wild. This actually might be like the favorite for me.
Oh shit.
Like honestly, for that synth alone, it's like kind of perfect.
Yeah.
But also doesn't overstay its welcome, which I really, really like.
Yeah, Madlib definitely knows when to kind of like change things up.
Great sentiment, acting like your poop don't stink.
Yeah, shit's real.
Yeah, that hook goes hard.
I love that.
I also love the play on shit's real and Shitsville.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Which is great. The flows are amazing. He goes over the beat incredibly well. And I feel like you could put this beat over like a high schoolers like football highlights, and
that would get them into college
really well. Yeah, it's like
that
wow,
would get you into college.
It's how a college scout finds out about Madlib.
It's how Shane Gillis almost became a D1, or almost stayed.
Your son can play football, but who's that producer?
God, the highlight reel sample is incredible.
He's a good quarterback. Who is this producer?
Madlib? They got Madlib on this?
Why are they all like people from the 1930s?
Because
you're
obviously
gonna be a
Madlib's
star,
biggest
kid.
fans.
You listen to Madlib, kid. You're gonna be a star. A star, I say. A D1 football player.
Well, I just work on Mad Villainy.
No, this track is really, really good. The gang vocals also just kind of make this. It help it make it go the extra mile, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And just like. Yeah, I could have honestly listened to that beat for like a few more minutes, but I think it does a
layering on a just like me.
Yeah,
really
dude.
cool.
Very
motherfucker,
nice.
just like
Such a good accent, good emphasis.
Yeah.
There's also like a sample of a poem in here,
Yeah.
recited by Ramsey Henry.
Is that at the end?
I think so.
Yeah,
And
no,
it has
it's-
that like nice ethereal kind of sample.
Yeah.
It's very cool, very interesting. I like it. Very nice change up.
Knows when to cool down a little bit, you know?
Exactly. And speaking of cool, this next track, Thuggin, is very fucking cool.
It's cool.
Ended up being the classic, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people know this album for this one, and for good reason. The sample, again, I mean, you know, just... It's like a broken record for this record too, but for a different reason.
Yeah.
Like just like you gotta like just witness this if anyone like listening just hasn't heard this before. Like the sample's great, and this is one where you know, a lot of the times like Madlib like can like carry with like his beats. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, you know, the like insane like musical talent to witness, but like also like Freddie's flow on this one, like he steals the stage. Like,
Exactly.
for this one, definitely.
It's also just a really great hook too, which I can see why it was so like I guess like popular and
Yeah.
like brought it into like the mainstream. I assume this was like a single.
I think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, the sample is fantastic. It works very well as like a more mainstream kind of track. And yeah, Freddie fucking kills it. It really encapsulates kind of like the blaxploitation nature that he was going for as well.
Yeah.
Just in terms of theme.
Yeah.
For sure.
That first verse is my favorite.
Yeah.
The it was just a great flow.
He's honestly, his flow is just so impressive on here. Just the way he's able to like accelerate and decelerate to kind of get off the beat and go back on and just kind of like play with the free form is just very impressive, especially at the speeds that he does it.
And also keep you engaged like through the majority of this record too.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
he's got a lot of personality and just like has like everything there for him.
Yeah, his confidence is like really like showcased here, which I like a lot.
You can even just see it on the album cover.
Yeah, of course. Bro stanced up in the park. Gotta love it.
Just chilling.
You guys pretty much said everything that I wanted to say about this track.
Let's
so.
say it again, Matt.
No, I mean, literally, you guys took everything that I was going to say.
All right, then, shall we just move on?
I think so.
Next up is Real. This is one that I'm not like the biggest fan of, but it's on Piñata, so it's still good.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I agree. Like, it's pretty good. I don't have a lot to say about it, really, but the beat does go kind of hard, as per usual. Like, even if you don't, like, really glue to a lot of, like, the lyrics or whatever, like, the beats are still so substantial that you could just, like...
Just kind of get lost in that. I think here it's like one of my least favorite beats on the album. I said that there was something going on with like the emphasis of the drum syncopation and just the way the key sound I didn't really vibe with.
The first beat I definitely like, I don't it's fun fact, Danny Brown actually samples that one on Atrocity Exhibition. So
very
it's
cool.
a cool little Danny Brown tie-in
Nice.
for you. But yeah, the first beat I definitely don't like as much, but when he flips it to like the second beat, which is where he just the ruthless diss track on Jeezy for like kind of no reason. Like he didn't do anything that bad to him. Like I looked it up, but yeah.
Yeah, I did write about the switch up on the second verse.
Yeah.
I guess a little better. But yeah, it's solid enough, but not a favorite.
An important moment on the record, like for that. Jeezy
that one
diss,
moment.
Yeah.
Next up we have Uno. This is one that I also like.
Kind of the same sentiments I feel about the last track too. Like it's very, very good. I got lost in the beat. It kind of did its job. It was very serviceable.
Yeah.
This one I really don't have a lot to say about.
I said like here is like where I really kind of noticed how like strong of like a writer of choruses Freddie Gibbs is, because like he's really good at like writing hooks that are like very memorable and kind of like stick out, especially when complemented by the immaculate samples by Madlib.
This one's like a really like experimental beat too. I mean, like it just feels like really like compared to the rest of the record, like it's very like ethereal. You know, it's just odd stuff happening.
Yeah, keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
which we like here at the Family Album. And I also like the theme of like legacy and like how and just like being recognized and how you're afraid to lose that after you die. It's a very, very cool introspective look, which there's a lot of on this album.
And that's a lot of like, you know, what people who like make this kind of music, you know, like they care about legacy a lot. So it's you know, it's cool to see them acknowledge it.
Next up is one of the goats on this album. We got Robes.
I quite enjoy this track.
The sample's fantastic.
We often see what we cannot wearing a smile. I love this sample.
You got Domo Genesis and Earl Sweatshirt, who both fucking kill their features. Insane. The way they work with Freddie Gibbs is also immaculate. It's iconic. It's great.
It's the first of the longer tracks that you see on this record. And honestly, for me, it almost went by the quickest.
Not a moment wasted on this track. Everything works perfectly here.
What's the one? There's this one song off of Scare in the Hose that this track reminds me of.
Is it Kingdom Hearts Key.
Possibly.
Could be Orange Juice Jones.
I was
Oh,
thinking
that
it
one,
might
yeah.
be Orange Juice Jones, yeah, because Kingdom Hearts Key has Red Veil on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think it's got to be Orange Juice Jones.
Gotcha, yeah. With the Michael Jackson sample.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Believe so.
that checks out.
Yeah, no, I think if I had to pick one on this album, that this would be the.
That would be it.
This is like, well, I'm also like a big Odd Future fan, so him
Yeah.
getting Domo Genesis and Earl Sweatshirt, like I love both of them. So that that's a great collab, but also that first beat and
It's so
sample,
fucking good.
it's my favorite on the record. It's just
Immaculate.
So good. And the TLC like waterfalls thing, like
Yeah.
obviously like the like second half of like the beat, like is it just
It's
kind
like
of
a bit.
for giggles, yeah.
Yeah, but
Freddie's-
it's funny.
yeah, he's really funny.
Stick to them dick and balls that you used to.
Yeah,
Couldn't have said it better
That's all you need
myself.
to know.
TLC should have put that in the actual.
See, Danny. Yeah, Freddie was right about that. He was real for that one. But yeah, I guess if nothing else to say, we can move on.
I like the synth at the end. It's great. It's so like shitty sounding, but it's fantastic.
Yeah.
He starts kind of. Isn't this the one where he starts just kind of like rambling about random shit at the end?
Yeah.
I love this part.
Talking about TLC's waterfalls.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Sings a lot on this song. He's like,
Yeah.
I only think about you when I'm drunk and high. Yeah. Or whatever it is, yeah.
A lot of humor on this one, which I guess fits given like the features. But next up, we have another favorite of mine. We got Broken. Again, just another really fucking smooth sample. Yeah, Scarface's featured on here is also really good.
And he absolutely rips from start to finish. Like, oh my
100%.
god.
And it's really cool kind of hearing like a more kind of laid back flow from Freddie instead of like kind of like the more complex fast stuff. It's just like kind of nice to kind of get this more vibey mellow kind of a delivery, which is cool. Nice little switch up.
Yeah, he's so intimidating and like powerful as like an MC. I love when like he'll rap on like a beat that like this is like really like soft. And,
Yeah.
like, it's like like a
Very
really
low
like,
key.
playful beat. So yeah, and Scarface, his voice is also like
Yeah.
one of the most like intimidating,
Like
and
aggressive,
powerful. Like,
yeah.
So I love that Madlib like picked
Yeah,
this song.
nice
to
little
have the two of them.
juxtaposition.
Yeah.
It's very good. Next up, we got Lakers. This is, I guess, kind of part of like a little duology on this album.
LA and New York.
Yes, an ode to LA, essentially, using the Lakers and like basketball as a way to kind of portray that. Yeah, it's a nice sample. I like how they kind of use the basketball metaphor back and forth to just kind of create like a consistent theme throughout this track and the next one.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
I think the features definitely like lift this track up, but it's already like, it's not exactly like faltering or like going
Yeah.
into the water or anything like that. It's a pretty fucking good track, honestly.
Yeah, I like
think-
it a lot.
I think at this point in the record, like even though you're hearing like a lot of really, really good stuff, it's like you're 13 tracks in and it's just like, like
But you're still fucking with it.
yeah, you're still fucking with it, but it's like you know what you're getting. You're just
Yeah.
kind of sitting.
I also think Lakers changes it up a lot, like in a good way, because it like just when you think like Freddie obviously like has like choruses on this record, but this one's like really like big and like
Yeah.
grand and like it's like being like sung and the chorus is like my favorite part of this
With
song, definitely.
Polyester the Saint.
yeah
Yeah, I agree. That part fucking rules.
And Absol's a great MC as well. Like there's so many like great rappers on this record that
Yeah.
any feature verse just
It's
gets
really
you like
good.
really excited. Yeah.
Next up, we have Knicks continuing the theme of basketball. I really like the way that this song is framed because this is when he's kind of like reflecting when he was like watching basketball games and then kind of attributing that to like events going on in his life then and now.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool framing device. And also, of course, the beat is great.
Yeah.
It's a
as
Madlib
always.
sample. Yeah.
If I had to pick one that just like kind of like maybe like doesn't stick out because like this combined with Lakers is like a pretty long moment on the
Yeah.
record, like I'd say Knicks, like it's not like my favorite. Just because like the beat like kind of does like stay similar throughout the entire time, which like is perfectly fine because
Yeah.
it's Madlib, it works. But yeah, I just get kind of dulled out with it a
I
little
got
bit.
you. That's fair.
I think it's kind of hard to at this again at this point in the record. I think it's cool how, like you said, with this framing device that he's using, he's kind of mentioning all these years in like a way that sort of invites the audience to almost feel like they were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like he's telling a story, which is really cool.
So that was something I did appreciate. And yet
Michael
again,
Jordan just destroying the New York.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
No,
Just imagine young bald Freddie getting devastated.
young bald Freddie.
He's
had to
always
be
been
bald.
bald when he was young.
Exactly.
Gotta be. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Matt?
No, again, the beat is pretty. It's still good. It's still Madlib. It's always been Madlib. You know.
Exactly. Not much more to say.
No.
It's always been.
Always been Madlib. Next up, we have Shame. I like the sample on this one a lot. pitched up from the Manhattans, I believe.
Sorry, you go.
I like when the sample kind of picks up a little bit and it gets keeps up the energy, keeps the same kind of feeling of the original sample, but the energy kind of picks up a little more and it gets a little more kind of engaging. And the chorus by BJ, I can't read my handwriting, is also really good.
The Chicago
Yeah,
Kid,
BJ,
yeah.
the Chicago Kid.
Yeah, this song's so beautiful. It's like the instrumentals really, just like.
Yeah, like has that retro kind of R&B vibe, which really fucking fits.
Yeah.
BJ, the Chicago Kid's voice specifically fits over that really well, and the little backing ooze like, in the instrumental. You know, it's just insane to think about, just like Freddie Gibbs just like rapping over something like this still, but it works so well.
It's awesome.
No, I think that the little intro at the beginning, it's so like stellar.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can really describe it. I like the way that like Freddie just kind of is describing his like intimate life in this song. At this point, in this like really like blasé kind of way.
Like I stepped on a banana peel and fell. Oh, fell into pussy. I think that's what the line is. Sorry, there was more to that.
Oh wait, no, he actually fell into.
Oh shit, my fault.
The people vocalizing in this beat in the background just make the track feel so smooth, like chewing 5 gum.
Yeah, imagine if you will.
Available at your local retailer. At every ShopRite. Can we say ShopRite? We're affiliated.
We're sponsored by ShopRite.
We are.
Today's
and 5
episode
Gum,
is
yeah.
sponsored by and Ghosbusters Afterlife coming to a theater near you.
No. We are not doing that bit again.
Really?
That was for April Fools and April Fools only.
Pretended to have just a full Ghostbusters sponsorship.
Listen to April Fool's episode. I put a lot of work into that.
It's pretty fucking amazing. I've listened to it like 6 times. The vocals on Shame are very, very good.
Yeah,
And I like them. I liked them.
Well, we're approaching the end of the album, so let's go on to the penultimate track with Watts. This is kind of like a little skit where it's like a little phone call from his uncle, or
I don't know, but it's like one of those little voicemail things, and the guy's mad at Freddie.
Yeah, not much else to say.
That's all. Madlib still finds a way to put like a cool little thing underneath it.
Exactly, because he's fucking Madlib.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the little fun interlude with the beat underneath. If that isn't Madlib, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just this is the part where I think I really just was like, this really feels like mad villainy.
Yeah, with all like the villain in today's culture, like that stuff.
Hey Lois, the villain in today's the villain in today. This is worse than the villain in today's culture.
And mad
There
villainy.
we go. That's all I want.
There it is. We did it. It came up naturally.
Came up at the second to last song of the episode.
I guess Freddie Gibbs really was a family guy after all.
One might say.
No, but it's cool because it just yet again you're at the end of this record, like more or less, and Madlib is just showing off his amazing producer skills as per usual. Because this album, it kind of has this like nice little ebb and flow.
Exactly.
I've been using that term a lot lately.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why.
I've been saying it in a couple episodes, so maybe that's why.
Maybe
it's my new
He's been
dichotomy.
secretly putting it into your vocabulary.
Yeah.
into my cereal.
I've been whispering into your ear while you sleep.
I'm just imagining like alphabet soup or something. He's just writing ebb and flow. It's only the letters that are in ebb and flow. But anyway, we shall get to the final track.
Yes. Also the title track.
Piñata.
Yeah. A fucking 8-minute epic with a bunch of fucking features.
Posse cut.
Yeah, posse cut that all fucking kill with a nice little skit at the end to send us home. And it's great all the way through.
It really is.
If they had to pick like one beat for a posse cut, it was a good beat to pick.
It was.
I love this
It was.
beat so much.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ones.
I think with like a feature as big as this one, you want a beat that's like, obviously going to like help carry the song
keep it
forward,
going.
but really just be non-imposing.
Exactly.
So that like all these people can just be...
Get their chance to shine.
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell it was 2014. Domo Genesis has
Yep.
2 features on the record.
Exactly.
Just nowhere to be found anymore. Yeah, I don't know if you guys like have a favorite in particular, but I'm a pretty big like Mac Miller fan, and he pops in like around like the 5
I think
minute
he's
mark.
the last one, I think.
Yeah, he's the last one to go, and this is like the only time he ever rapped on a Madlib beat.
Yeah.
It's really cool to hear.
I think they have like, I've been seeing on like Album of the Year, there's like a possible release called Maclib.
Yeah, with the both of them. I hope that comes out, but
So do
you
I.
never know. Like Madlib, he just kind of keeps like we never thought Bandana was gonna come out.
It's true. But hey, miracles do happen. So maybe we'll get that one day.
Like this record.
Exactly, Matt.
Yeah, solid ending.
Yep, very good ending. All the features are incredible. Do you have a favorite feature, Matt?
On here, I would probably say like Casey Veggies.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice. Well, I guess that'll do it for Piñata by Freddie Gibbs. So, Andrew, what did you think?
It's hard for me to say like not like 10 out of 10 because I like just I'm always gravitated towards like media that like just like really like grabs my attention and like is able to keep me entertained, and I've gotten like so much like entertainment out of this album
100%.
and just like it never really gets old to listen to. I especially love when I'll just be shuffling like all kinds of random songs and something from this will come on.
Yeah.
It's always I never skip it. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Knicks kind of slows it down a little bit. Like, the interludes, like I don't like really like go back to them. So I'd say like maybe like 8.5, like 9 or something, but definitely like really high up there. And I think everything like past this point that like Freddie came out, this was like a big turning point for him. So like, he like, I don't know where he ranks among like my favorite like rappers ever, but he's definitely like pretty high up there.
I would agree. Matt, how about you?
This is yet again just all the Madlib like expertise and how to just make amazing beats, just encapsulated and forever immortalized in a record, which I really, really like. I just love the way that he is, where he can kind of make these instrumentals that are so bold, but also give a lot of room to breathe for whoever is like on it or whoever he's working with. So that again, it's just like a nice balance of everything, and there's a nice balance of everything on this record. Like. The beats are probably what I look forward to the most, like upon like each listen, and like the tracks in between the features, they don't feel like filler, but I kind of did get like a little fatigued in between, where I feel like this album might be just like a little bloated toward the end.
I can see that.
Just a little bit, but I think that's only because of the runtime, frankly. There's also like stuff that I really like about this record that kind of saves it from that and from me feeling fatigued. Like there's a bit of humor toward the end of a lot of these tracks, and like the album's pacing, the middle, the end, it might be a little rough, but the tracks are honestly still fire. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So I don't know, just the beats hit really fucking hard, and I genuinely don't have like a real bad thing to say about this record whatsoever. And Freddie Gibbs from start to finish just kills it. And he's just so full of personality, and yeah, I think I gotta say like either low A or high B, and like an 8.9 out of 10.
I think that's very fair. I'm a big Gibbs head ever since I discovered him in 2022. So I love this album from front to back. And I also love Madlib, probably my favorite hip hop producer, maybe even my favorite producer of all time. Just the way he plays with samples in such a creative, ambitious way is so captivating, and how he's able to kind of fit each person he collaborates with style so well is just such like an immaculate talent. And it's demonstrated very well here as Freddie Gibbs raps over these samples extremely well. He has such like a fun, confident personality, but it's like so like aggressive at the same time that you can really like feel everything he's like talking about. And the way he delivers it with, like, as you said, Andrew, the poetic stanzas is really impressive, especially coming off of Playboi Carti. It's a very refreshing listen.
It's like, wait a minute, this is possible.
Instead of like one staccato line, you have like this whole fucking like flowy passage per bar.
30 seconds.
Yeah. So I think like he masters just like the balance between like these like super complex flows with like these really hooky choruses, especially when he has singers on there. That especially like helps like keep these songs memorable. I will say the pacing is a little rough towards the middle, but each song, like there's not a bad song on this album.
No, not at all.
Every track here fucking rips. It's just like a great listen front to back. I'd say my favorite tracks are probably High, Broken, and Robes. And I'm going to give this a solid A tier. I quite like this album. And I think that'll do it for this episode of the Family Album. Andrew, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been a lot of fun. I was excited to come on here and talk to you guys about some music.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back.
Next time I come back, we'll do like a like doo-wop episode.
Now that I could talk about forever.
Span the whole gauntlet of genre.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
I think we officially got to shore on the ship.
Yes, we have docked, both literally and figuratively.
I have no way to segue out of that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. And Andrew, thank you so much for coming on, as always.
I guess with that, I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
I'm Matt Glass.
Me? No, I'm kidding. I'm Andrew Marshall.
Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.